went to bed with one cheering news that the abducted passengers in Niger State had been released. And then this morning, the news broke from the Guardian newspaper that the students, the Kangaroo students, the staff, and also the relatives of those that were there that were taken away have also been released. It is good news. The same way we celebrated in December when the Kangaroo boys were also released after they were abducted. And in all of this, we still find that some people have been kidnapped, some people have been killed. There have been several attacks in the north by terrorists in the course of the weekend. We'll talk about, the state of the nation. One of the key pressing issues in this matter is that of paying ransom or not. The government, in this particular incident, Lai Mohammed was on Channels TV on Saturday saying that the government will not pay ransom for abducted people. But we'll talk about that in a bit. I have retired Colonel Chinedu Owhonda with me in the studio. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
So let's get into that conversation. My name is Anoa Bweviri. Stay tuned.
We connect you to the world. We connect you to the vicinity. We are Nigeria Info.
Listen to me. I said this is a real situation and the government has to do something about it. What are you trying to insinuate? All these people looting Nigeria's money? You think
This is Nigeria Info, in the heart of Nigeria. 92.3. We are Nigeria Info.
This is the Morning Crossfire on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
All right, Colonel, thank you for joining us on the show this morning. One of the key things that a lot of people have concerns about is the naming of the criminals, who are doing the kidnappings and the killings. In the early days, we knew of a terror group called Boko Haram. And then maybe a year ago, and a year and a half ago, it became the matter of herders, some armed herders attacking farmers. And there were also reports that some people with weapons who look like they're from the north were also kidnapping people in parts of the country. And the latest we're hearing now is what they call bandits. Do you think that the naming of the criminals gives a certain coloration to this issue?
Well, there has been several names and nomenclatures used to collect money and deprive Nigerian citizens of the best. But unfortunately, we see it as a way of life now because it has been driven right from the onset of democracy, this third democracy that we're seeing, and it has also gone into different names, different ways of doing things, and different ways of collecting money. But I suffer to say that, well, the way the government is following it is not the best. You said here that Lai Mohammed on channels over the weekend said they are not going to pay ransom.
Indeed.
I remember also that the governor of Niger State was very vehement and very calculated when he addressed a world press conference over the weekend. He insisted they were not going to pay. But when you look at how there was also a summit whereby El Rufai criticized paying of ransom and said that the Sheikh Gumi position was not their own position, that they will not pay and so on. But let me ask you one question. What transpired over the weekend? Can we say that maybe these people didn't pay or they have paid and so on? Because the comprador bourgeoisies, those in government and those perpetuating this evil within the government also, and working for the government are the cause of this particular problem.
How so?
Yes. Look at the setup of the abductions of the schools. Chibok girls, Kankara again, then the Dapchi girls and so on. You find out that, look, these are organized act that the government of the day, vis-a-vis their comprador bourgeoisies, are using it to amass wealth, make money, and think Nigerians are fools.
So you're saying that, in your estimation, that it's the government or people in government that are responsible for this?
There are those like the government of Katsina, government of Zamfara. They pay out ransom. They know these boys. They know the bandits. And these bandits, the villagers know them. And they know their enclave. And these people always come to the market to buy things and go back to the forest where they have abducted people and so on. But security agencies have not been able to listen. Matawale of Zamfara has been paying royalty to them and so on. And Masari of Katsina has been paying. Now, when you come to Katsina, when you come to Kaduna and Niger, you know, Kaduna, I happen to have walked there. That road, Briningwari, that axis, Tegina, all those axes. My wife has been involved. This cattle rustling, because they kept changing the names and so on, they were coming to see me when I was a commanding officer in Lagos. And they ran into this ambush of these bandits. My orderly and driver took off and left the vehicle. And my wife, my daughter, my son, they were in the vehicle. 58 bullets were fired on the vehicle. 58 bullets. It's only God, because they lie down in the vehicle, and so it's only God that saved them. So this banditry, rustling and so on, didn't start today along that highway, Tegina, Briningwari highway. And these people are not Nigerians. You will know that they are foreigners, you know. And I his stick to pursue. This is the problem. The government, just as I said, is neither here nor there, because it's a vast land, it's a vast forest that runs from Niger through Briningwari, Kaduna, up to Sokoto, KB Sokoto. And you know that axis is very porous, open, and thousands of kilometers away. So if the government wants to take action on it, nothing's stopping them from carrying out action. But they leave these people to perpetuate this crime on Nigerians, this criminal crime on Nigerians and so on. And you know, when they make this money, they reverse and use it to buy more ammunition and arms. And that is why you see the factory is growing on daily basis. Growing on daily basis.
So when the immediate past Chief of Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur retired, says that there are many ungovernable spaces in Nigeria, that's what he meant.
Well, he has made new recruits, both in the army and in the police. But he refused to do it because excessive money was given to him by President Buhari to pursue this aim or goal of winning this war. But it was filtered with, they fraudulently spent the money, neither here nor there. You can't say what they really use the money for.
And government is not holding them to account.
They are not.
Do you believe that that money was really really got to them? Because I mean, we've
Well, these are the things. Well, this is another question. Whether it got to them or not, but they should be able to speak out.
no, but you're in the military. How do you people speak out?
I am no more there.
Yeah, but when you were there, you know how it works. Nobody was going to say anything.
Yes, but some of us will talk. We are out. If they that are in position didn't get this money, and the people, the politicians are saying they've given them more than enough, more than what is required, it's left to them to talk out. I mean, we shouldn't be blind or blindfolded with lies or not telling the truth. So and so money got to me. So and so money has been spent for this, and so on. So you exonerate yourself from certain things
At what cost?
at the cost of either leaving the job or resigning. This is the problem.
All right, when Nigerian
We still want to remain in power and so on. What I mean, there are so many things that are inexplicable.
Okay, so one of the matters that came up on this same matter was Catholic cleric John Cardinal Nanaikon speaking over the weekend, condemning dialogue with bandits. And this is what he said. Listen to what the Catholic Archbishop said.
This is nothing political. It's nothing to do with PDP, APC. And we have now seen it has nothing to do with Islam or Christianity. Not even with our tribal differences. Aren't there people who claim that they are our rulers, who actually, during the elections, force us, beg us, cajole us, bribe us to put them in power? Now, you are in power. Do the work, for goodness sake.
Okay, so it says you're in power, do the work for goodness sake. So this is the matter. Some people are saying, let's have a conversation with the bandits. Some actually say, we're having a conversation with the bandits. Some are actually having physical meetings with the bandits. Now, you talked about ungovernable spaces. If the government of that state believes that, because there's something to sit in your state and hear the federal government say something in Abuja and be there and feel the heat of what's going on from your people and see what's going on. So if some governors believe that they are helpless because the military is not doing what they can do or they should do, the federal government is saying things and it's not, there's no action to follow it up, and they think that dialogue is the way out, is that a bad thing?
You see, the question of dialogue, there is no country that doesn't deal on dialogue. It depends how you pursue it. One, what some schools of thought has is that bandits must not be. They shouldn't negotiate with them. There is no diplomacy in that. And that school of thought has it that, look, it must be clear. They must be eradicated or make sure they are not existing and so on. Another school of thought has it that, well, if this is their grudge, what is the next thing to do? If they have genuine reasons, what is the crux of the matter? And if the government sees that, look, it's something we can solve, it's something we can dialogue on, and it's something that the government can say, okay, oh, you people said you don't have job. Come, we'll give you job. It can be negotiated. But when a group, a banditry group, insists on maiming, killing, collecting ransom, even when they collect, they still kill, they still rape, they do all sorts of things. The government should have a position, and that position should be that they must not, because it's something that will, if you give them the ransom, they will still go back and buy more arms and still continue with their heinous crimes and so on. But if you say that these people must have a reason, okay, we are not employed, you people are humiliating us, they are killing us on a daily basis and so on, come back, give them amnesty or whatever that will solve that problem. But if you are seeing, because the government has several ears and eyes, they get information, They know what is happening, both in the forest. I mean, Gumi has been patrolling, shuffling from Zamfara to Katsina, to Sokoto, where he comes from, down to Niger now, Kaduna, where he's negotiating with this one. How did he come to know some of these bandits? There are different groups of bandits. He's negotiating, he's snapping with them, eating with them, negotiating with them, and so on. What is it? You must know that these people are not. You see, they are coming through another way of telling, oh, give them amnesty.
No, but if you mentioned amnesty, I was going to get to that. If amnesty is the answer, but if they want to negotiate, is it out of place or they want to have a conversation? Because you also want to understand, like you're saying, if they have a just cause.
Yes.
Is it out of place for Gumi to do all that movement, to talk to them, to eat with them, to take photos
That
with
movement is suspicious. You know why I say it's suspicious? Because, you see, Gumi may have a good intention, but if you check the atmosphere of where he's operating, genuinely, he's not operating in a way that, okay, let's say the different groups, these different bandits, they have different missions. They have different ideas of why they are doing what they are doing. Some are purposely to drain the purses of government. Some are purposely, we are not employed. But most of these bandits in the forest today, they are not Nigerians. Forget they call them hiders, men, that. There are genuine Fulani heismen that are moving about doing their genuine business. Genuine business in the course of time. Just as I told you, the Nigerian Fulani man moves about with his jerry can of water and whatever logistic bag he has, and he has a sharp knife and stick. That's what he uses to control the cow. That is, Nigerians today are not Nigerians, but brought by people with an intention.
Okay, so in this particular, matter now, is amnesty a solution or the solution?
Well, you see, they have different opinions. They have different groups of hiders with different vast listen. But what I'm saying is that the group that are here to make money, maim, abduct, kill, and so on, that no amnesty should be given to them. No amnesty should be given to them. They should be seen to be enemies to the state and seen being cleared of the roots of this problem.
Yeah, but the state, it looks like the state is not able to defeat them. That's why they're able to perform.
The state, yes, the state is not able to defeat them. That is where I never agreed with the former chief of army staff that there are some areas that are ungovernable. Yes, every place cannot be governed at the same time or protected at the same time. And that is why the question is, he spent 5 years as chief of army staff. What did you do? You know, the army is overstretched. The Nigerian army, they are not supposed to be performing the principal role of internal security of police. And since NSAS, listen, you find out that Nigeria has become more porous. The police are not doing their job. The police have clung to wherever they will make money. Wherever they will make money, that is why there is no street policing. No street policing any longer. If you check before NSAS, you must have an idea of where police people are stationed and so, but they are no more there. They are either staying in a location where they will earn money, and so the army is overstretched. The army is doing internal security. The army is fighting these hiders in the forest. The army is protecting us in our territorial this thing. The army is doing AU job, ECOMOG job, United Nations job. I mean, is it not the same army? And recruitment is not being done. Because I expect Nigeria to have at least the strength of army 2.5 million. But we have less than 600,000 soldiers. And there is attrition every day.
But can't we make can't we use arms to make up for the numbers? Weapons.
Well, weapons. Well, weapons is there, but do they have it?
That's another question.
Do they have it? The weapons are not there, because you can use weapons to actually provide this and cover for this, but the weapons are not there. Why not get more men, recruit more men, and let them see what they can do? If this past 5 years, Nigeria had recruited 700,000 men and so on, we wouldn't have been having this problem. We wouldn't have.
All right. The conversation continues. Do stay tuned. We're Nigerian for Port Harcourt. Good morning.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.
Connect with your customers. Advertise on 92.3 Nigeria Info. Visit our downtown office at Shop 9, Mediatrix of All Gracies Plaza, opposite FIRS, Stadium Road, Port Harcourt, and book your commercials. Call 0817 001 8162. That is 0817 001 8162. And let us connect you to your customers.
We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you on 92.3 Nigeria Info. We crossfire in the morning. Crossfire in the morning. Get into the midday dialogue and tell you about the hard facts, and then let's talk into the chat station. All for you.
Nigeria Info.
14 minutes before 9 o'clock, in Niger State, they're celebrating the return of the abducted school children and also the return of the abducted passengers in the state about a week ago. But we're talking about the state of the nation's security. I've got with me Richard Colonel Chinedu Owhonda, and he said a few things. But there are a few questions here, sir. One of them is from Kenneth Ibiaime. He's asking, or he's saying, he started with the name bandits. Government did not tackle it today. We are faced with payment of ransom. Sir, is it not a future threat? This payment of ransom, is it not a future threat?
Well, I have said it that if we have just started paying ransoms and so it will end. It will end because more groups will come up and be collecting money. And since the government cannot tackle the problem, let them continue paying this thing. Because this thing is organized by a group of people working with the government. Because government will shout, oh, we won't pay. But they'll go back and pay.
But if the government feels helpless, if they feel like they can't really tackle these people, is this not an option?
The government can tackle these people. Use the money to recruit people, buy arms for them, and they will survive and make sure that they eliminate this group of people.
All right. So Sisi Noweri says Boko Haram insurgents say they want to Islamize northern Nigeria, and that's the agitation. The bandits and criminals in the north are saying they are marginalized, and someone is saying they should be given amnesty. Fine, the government can go ahead and give amnesty to all the bandits and criminals in Nigeria because they are all over Nigeria. The clock is ticking, and one day the keg of palm wine will break and the contents will spill. Where are we? Let's take some calls. 0817-923-0002. 0817-923-0003. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, no. Yes, my name is Goodness. I'm calling from Port Harcourt.
All right.
Thank you. I greet you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning.
Yes, I want to add my mouth in what you talked about. You know, Gumi was the one trying to negotiate for the bandits. I don't see any government that will gather at least, let me say, over 100 persons and that execute them because they are criminals. If you talk about negotiation, I know in Niger Delta, our bishops, popes, pastors, they were in the Niger Delta negotiating, talking to our bodies to calm down. Even when we are criminally minded, some of them have gone out of their ways. And you know, for you to be part of, to talk to them, you must be able to come down to their level, eat with them, talk with them. So coming to tell me that because Gumi was doing those things, he does not want it. I somewhat disagree that with you. But having said that, it is, I understand one time was the government that said that they kidnapped some persons. What they did is they paid ransom and rescued the person. Then after rescuing the person, they have to go for the criminals. Telling people to go for the criminals and kill them with the victims. It is very difficult when they say they need money. You give them the money, then after that you plan for them. But
all right. Did you get that?
Yeah, I got it. You see, what I'm saying is that of Niger Delta, they had a mission.
So
and it was very clear.
okay.
They were marginalized. Oil was coming from their area. They have no touch of it, have nothing to talk about it, and so on. So they argued for the remuneration to get to some of them and so on, and talked about unemployment and so on. So the government gave them amnesty and provided jobs and so on. And that was why this. But these people don't have any aim. They don't have any mission. Their own is just to collect money from government.
Okay, so if you have a cause, then it's legitimate, then you need to be heard.
Yes.
But you mentioned the Niger Delta. Has that problem really been solved? Is the area any more developed than it was when the agitation started?
When the agitation, because at least the government was able to send some of these boys to school.
To what end?
Well, some of them have achieved something. I mean, they have achieved something because when the government sent them to school and packaged them and so on, they are there.
Okay.
Surviving.
Okay, so Robert is saying that I should ask if some governors and Islamic clerics know and visit the bandits in the forest. How come security agents don't know where the bandits are?
Well, that is another school of thought. So we don't know because this thing is just collaboration amongst them, collecting money.
All right. Sir Ken says, you see, this payment of ransom and amnesty has come to stay. I remember Rotimi Amechi was against this amnesty thing. He said the moment you raise arms against the state, you must be brought to book. People hated him for his opinion. We are in it, and we remain in it for a long time. Good morning. Please put off the radio.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, my name is Chinedu. I'm calling Port Harcourt.
All right.
You see, everything about this, last time I called, I complained about this. You see, the guest speaker with you is telling the truth because he has been in North. Last time I called you, I was telling you that as of today, I spent 29 years in Niger State. All this thing we are seeing is just a collaboration. People are taking this thing and making money from Nigeria. How can bandits say they are need for, they need, what do you call it? They have to come and do this for them. They are comparing with themselves with Niger Delta. What are they producing? Niger Delta are the people that produce oil. Look, my friend, go to Abuja. If you don't, I'm in Port Harcourt for 4 years now. I came to do work in Port Harcourt. But my base is in Abuja. That's where my family is. Even as I'm talking to you. By next month, I will fly to Abuja. One time I was traveling. I was driving in Abuja. I did Abuja from Express Road, Kuba, Abuja Express Road. I did it. So that when I came here, people in Port Harcourt that making noise, I will show them the difference. Look, my friend, I'm from Niger State, but I have been in the north for 29 good years. I'm married from the north. What they're doing, they're playing with our trees. And I work in offshore. I was in Focado Terminal. I worked there for completely 3 years. Where they're pumping this oil, you see, before I went to Bonny. When you are talking of Niger Delta, do you know that when I was in Focado, there was a bus, coastal bus. Shell bought a coastal bus. You carry them from Ogulaha, cross Shell terminal because they don't want people to go because of the safety. To the road leading to Ajip. That's a village they call Ajip. Did you know that the young Pekin cannot enter coastal bus? Completely new coastal bus Shell bought. He was crying because he had never seen such a thing. But the moment we carried him or her be inside boat, small small canoe boat on top of sea. You see, they are making. So when those people, some of them came outside the town and say, hey, this is how well they are using our money is, and see how we are perishing. They complain because of no this thing. They gave them amnesty, send some of them to school, which they make them to quit. If now you uncle, what will you do?
All right. Question still remains: what difference have we seen between when the agitation started and now? For some people, it's just you just created a new set of warlords. But let's move on from that. This one says negotiating with criminals is totally unacceptable. Please, what are the bandits fighting for? Some part of Nigerian government are making huge amounts of money from these guys. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Diego Osisina Miego. I'm calling from France, Amadi.
All right, let's hear you.
Okay, now my question or my contribution is, government is paying, unconfirmed report says 800 million. Do we understand how much arms can be procured with 800 million? Because most definitely the terrorists won't go and enroll themselves in school with that 800 million. That's not what they're going to do with it. So I'm sure deep down, someone within this regime knows that these guys are going to get more arms. And another thing that sickens me to my stomach is the comparison of these terrorists with the Niger Delta militants. Now, the Niger Delta militants had something they were agitating for, which is the destruction of their source of livelihood by oil exploration without appropriate compensation. Now, these terrorists want to Islamize the country, and we're putting both groups in the same category and in the same conversation. That's very hurtful. But at the same time, I don't blame the present regime for all the gimmicks they are doing currently, trying to create amnesty and do a department, a ministry for these people. Why? Because during the time of the past administration, the past regime, giving the Niger Delta militants and negotiating with them, a lot of us clamored against it. Creating a department especially for them, a lot of us clamored against it. Why? Because this thing will fester. This is a monster you're creating that's one day going to swallow us all up. Let me tell you something that I'm very sure of. By the time you negotiate with these guys, give them the amnesty, give them their own department and everything, guess what? Another group is going to come up.
All right.
Are we going to continue negotiating with terrorists? We can't continue to live like this. The government knows what. Jerusalem Abacha said something very profound. He said if an insurrection exceeds 24 hours, then the government is involved.
All right.
Sheikh Gumi can easily locate these people, but with the entire security architecture, we're unable to locate these guys. The Minister of Defense is telling us to defend ourselves with our belts, our wigs, and our shoes. When they took away all the license, what were they doing? This thing seems very calculated. They're withdrawing all the legitimate license from people to own arms, and all of a sudden, people have access to AK-47s as if it's pure water. Do you know how much one AK-47 costs? That one little rifle up on the road has access to it. One AK-47 is up 400,000 naira.
Okay.
How did they get it?
Good question. How did they get it? But, I mean, I don't think there's any argument anyone can make when they're talking about comparisons. Crime is crime. People are abducted, people are killed. There's no saying because they have a cause. I have a cause myself.
Yes.
I feel marginalized. So I take a gun, I start killing people, kidnapping people. And when they say come, I say I have a cause. I feel marginalized. I'm not paid enough, maybe. Or maybe I don't like the place I live. Or they're not. I mean, talk a bit about this.
Well, the problem is that the military is to be blamed. But when I mean military, with police, when a country does not define the roadmap for it's there in the Constitution. What is the primary rule of the police? Internal security. The military can always come in when they are in aid of civil authority. In aid of civil authority, that's to the local government, the state government, and the federal government. When there is crisis internally.
But at this point, won't you agree with some people that say we're already in a crisis situation?
We are.
Okay.
They're very big.
So the army are legitimately called in.
They are. But you know, the police is under strength. They don't have the capability. They don't have the capacity to fight whatever internal. The same army is overwhelmed with both war in the northeast that has entered into northwest and moving down to north central. We are in a very big crisis. I can bet this thing we are talking of. A lot of people have called on the federal government to see how they can curtail or stop this movement, because from Niger, it has already entered Kwara. Kwara, Oyo, Already you know what is happening in Ondo, Ekiti, and Oyo State now. It's the same crisis. And once he enters there, already they have this man on ground in our area here, in the southeast. So if it, well, we're in trouble.
All right, we hope it doesn't overwhelm us. I mean, hope it's not a strategy, but Nigerians know how to pray, they know how to hope. But you say it's on the military and, of course, the federal government to tackle this menace. Thank you very much, Retired Colonel Chinedu Owhonda, for honoring our invitation this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, the matter of security is inexhaustible, so continue some other time. My name is Eno Ogbevire. Thank you for joining the conversation.